Hi, my name is Jeff H. Sipe, and I have over 10 years of recruiting experience, including 5 years at Google. In this video, I want to focus on job interview assumptions, and specifically job interview assumptions that are really hurting your chances of getting the job. I simply want to create awareness around 6 items. If we focus on these 6 items, maybe one of these items, something you'll remember, something that can really help you have success. If you like my content, please like. If you have any comments, please comment below. And if you like my overall content, please subscribe. Item 1, our interviewer is paying attention. I love talking about this item because we really have to stop assuming we're getting 100% out of our audience. No way. You don't get 100% out of anyone ever. And this comment is really backed by data. It's backed by science. The likelihood that your interviewer is engaged for the 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, however long the interview is, we just need to remove that assumption. And so, okay, I get it. Point noted. What should I do? First, you need to simplify. And this really shows up in 2 facets. So when we talk about behavioral answers, there are a few key ways that you can simplify to make sure that they're in the journey, in the story with you. So it's your position and any context that your position needs. It's your company, any context that your company needs. The client, if the client name is confidential, then I want to know their industry and size. And then just really basically, I want to know what's happening. Right? I want to know what you need to accomplish to help me be in the story. And we've all watched that movie, right? 10 minutes in, we have no idea what's going on, start to get bored, we get on our phones, etc. I don't want your interviewer to be lost as you move on to the next section and start talking through your actions, and they're still trying to figure it out. So I really like, in this particular case, the 1% rule. And basically, in my mind, the 1% rule is if there is even a 1% chance that they're not going to understand your company, your role, what you're talking about, simplify it. Because they're typing away, and again, you're moving forward into the actions, but they're not with you. They're still trying to put it all together. So really make sure that that is super clear when providing a behavioral answer. Now, secondarily, let's make it interactive when we're trying to simplify. And so this really shows up with open-ended questions. Even a simpler question like, tell me about yourself, you need to do lots of clarification, lots of check-ins, really make it interactive, because if you go on speaking for long periods of time, you're just going to lose your audience. It's easier with behavioral answers to speak for longer periods of time because while it's action-oriented, it's still a story. But with more open-ended questions, you're going to want to have this good ebbs and flows, these good back and forths. Make sure that you're keeping your interviewer engaged, and that way you will get more attentiveness from them. Item 2, the whole interview matters. Not really. If they like you in the beginning, chances are they're going to like you later on. And most hiring decisions, as hard as this is to hear, are made within minutes, sometimes within seconds. And so how do we get this right? Right off the bat, we bring in good energy, good positivity. And this is honestly why being on time is so critical, because if you show up late, you're instantly fighting an uphill battle. You know, if you start the interview without a smile, if you start the interview with bad body language, these are all going to be uphill battles. So get it all right in the first minute, because when you get in somebody's good favor, things that happen that are less favorable, they'll be more likely to forgive you. If you start off on a bad foot, then essentially what they're going to do is they're going to look at that as additional and continued negative ticks down. Remember, people are always looking to validate what they think, so have them validating after the first few seconds, first few minutes. that you are the right hire, because they'll continue to confirm that in their mind and therefore set you up for success in getting the job offer. Item 3, words matter. Okay, this one's a tough one for me. As an interview coach, it spends a lot of time focused on the words. But the science again backs that our body language, our pitch and tone, and our overall pace are more important than the words. And so for body language, just 2 really important tips: shoulders back, chin up, and a smile. Those are 3 really good starting points. When we talk about pitch and tone, just make sure your tone is really nice and even. And then when you're asking a question, you have a little bit of inflection. Those are 2 critical data points. And then pace, you really want to mirror their pace, but all the time and most of the time we're trying to slow them down a little bit, because again, if we're envisioning that we're not getting 100% of their attention, slower is going to allow them to process more information. Always be comfortable in silence. In order to make it interactive, you have to build in space for your interviewer to comment, talk, ask additional questions, and it's kind of not natural in an interview. We're used to going. Build in that silence. We tend to forget this item, but it's critical to success in an interview. Item 4, you need all the skills. I really like to talk about this one. I actually like to hire people who don't have all the skills. Now, of course, I want you to have all the soft skills I'm looking for, but I want to hire somebody who's engaged, interested, and challenged in this specific position. And if you have every single skill, I don't know that I'm going to be able to help you learn and grow. Of course, I'm interviewing you because you have good, strong skill alignment up front, but the opportunity to learn and grow usually translates a little bit better in the interview, because you can be enthusiastic about it, excited about it, and passionate about how you might learn a skill or skills. If you can do everything, usually you're just going to be like, oh yeah, I could do that, or I've done that before, and it doesn't translate as well in the interview. So if you see some preferred qualifications, for example, and you think, I don't have that, that's okay. As long as you have some transferable skills, it will work out great for you. Item 5, I can wing it. So there are definitely people who fall in this category. What's the percent? Maybe 10% or less. What's the percent for people interviewing at the elite companies of the world? 5% or less. Why take the risk? Prepare and practice like crazy. And, winging it and feeling okay about winging it because you have a vacation planned, postpone it. The interview's too soon, postpone it. You have a social event, go for an hour. Don't drink any alcohol and go back home and prep more before you go to bed. Please take this advice from somebody who thought they could wing it in the Facebook interview and epically failed on one question where I had so many great examples, but the lack of prep and practice showed up, and it led to me not getting a job offer because I really thought I could wing it. So just don't assume you can wing it. Put in the work. It will yield tremendous results, I promise. Item 6, positivity isn't always necessary. No, it's always necessary. You always need to be positive in an interview. And it doesn't mean you haven't made mistakes in your career. We've all made them. It doesn't mean that you haven't had strained relationships. We've all had them. But always speaking with positive words is absolutely critical for success. Even if your interviewer takes a negative path, you just want to take a little bit more of the high road. You can acknowledge what they're saying, but always speak in positive terms. Don't fall into the trap that occasionally it's okay to be negative. It's not. It doesn't play well. And lastly, what I really want to talk about is it's September 2020, so we're in a virtual interview environment. And a lot of people take that as a negative. And they think, hey, I can't do as well. I'm much better in person. You just have to remove that and stay completely positive. Whether that's going to be still utilizing a whiteboard, maybe it's standing to get more energy, whatever it is, just keep this positivity going. We are in a confusing and trying time right now. And so, positivity not only in your words, but in your examples, but even the scenario or setup or situation is going to be critical for success. To sum up, I just wanted to bring awareness to some of these items. They're consistent items that come up with our clients at practiceinterviews.com, and I thought it would be really valuable to talk through them. I hope at least one of these points resonates with you and helps you have greater success. Thanks so much.